There are moments when the offseason does not scream. It whispers through practice reps, rotations, veteran comments, and that is where Chargers fans have to read everything with the right kind of suspicion. O'Leary might be building a more aggressive defense. A rookie pass rusher just stepped into a role. A recent draft pick is already feeling cut pressure. A running back looks ready to explode, and the offensive line is getting shuffled with zero apologies. Drop a like and subscribe because today we have serious behind-the-scenes Chargers stuff to get into. This is where you separate the fans who are really locked in from the people who only wake up when sacks show up on Sunday. Akheem Mesidor's arrival is not just another new name in the rotation, it is a clue. Chris O'Leary learned inside a defense under Jesse Minter, but no coach takes over a unit like this just to be a copy machine. He is going to want his own stamp on it. And back at Western Michigan, that stamp had one clear trait: varied pressure. The front seven attacking from different angles, and blitzes that were not afraid to get messy. That completely changes how we should read Mesidor. The 2025 Chargers were effective without living off the blitz. According to Sharp Football Analysis, Los Angeles blitzed on only 18.9% of snaps, the fourth lowest rate in the league, and still finished with 45 sacks, tied for 10th in the NFL. That is discipline. That is coverage working together with the rush. That is the line winning its matchups. But now picture O'Leary looking at Tuli Tuipulotu, Khalil Mack, and a rookie with contact strength, physical maturity, and technique that can help early. The internal question changes fast. What if this defense does not just want to control opposing offenses? What if it wants to hunt? Mesidor has one trait that makes this especially dangerous. He can line up outside and give Mack and Tuli some breathing room, but he also brings interior experience. In 2025, he played only 10 snaps as a defensive tackle, but in 2024, he logged 164 snaps inside. That matters a lot. Interior pressure destroys quarterbacks in a completely different way because you cannot simply climb the pocket when the pocket is being shoved right into your lap. If O'Leary starts dialing up stunts, simulated pressure, and blitz looks that confuse protections, Mesidor could become that rookie who suddenly pops free, blows up a play, and leaves everybody asking why he was not on the radar sooner. Sure, David Bailey and Malachi Lawrence may get more attention because of their athletic upside, but readiness wins jobs too. And Mesidor looks like the exact kind of player a new coordinator loves. Reliable, physical, flexible, and useful in multiple packages. O'Leary inherited a good defense. Now he has to make it uncomfortable. If that aggressive shift really happens, Mesidor could be the first big beneficiary. And when a rookie starts gaining ground like that, somebody else on the roster starts feeling the heat. And that is where this gets harsher, because depth looks beautiful on paper until it starts pushing somebody out of the building. Kyle Kennard is not some random name buried at the bottom of the roster. He was a fourth-round pick in 2025, came in with expectations, had a rookie year that was far too quiet, and now, before June even fully arrives, he is already attached to the phrase, "No player wants to carry into summer," fighting for a roster spot. Daniel Popper of The Athletic wrote after OTAs that Kennard, after an underwhelming rookie season, will be battling for a roster spot heading into year 2. That line may sound simple, but inside a win-now team, it hits hard. Harbaugh and Hortiz are not building a museum of potential. They are building a team that has to get past the wildcard round, has to keep up with the monsters in the AFC, and turn talent into January wins. In that kind of environment, lost snaps become evidence, bad reps become warnings, and silence on the field becomes a real problem. Kennard played only 80 snaps last season. That number already hurts. Then look around and understand why his situation is so tight. Khalil Mack is back. Tuli Tuipulotu is rising towards star status and a major contract. The team invested heavily in Akheem Mesidor in the first round. Bud Dupree is there as veteran depth. And then there is Nadam Tucker, a popular UDFA with a direct connection to Chris O'Leary from Western Michigan. That behind-the-scenes link guarantees nothing, but in camp it can open a door, because coordinators trust players who already understand their language. The coldest part is that even the positive quote became part of the pressure. Mack told Popper there is a hunger in Kennard, that he can feel the focus and detail. Is that good? Absolutely. But Popper called it the most positive development he has heard on Kennard this offseason. When the best sound coming out of the building is more about attitude than impact, the message is pretty clear. The player still has to turn intent into production. I am not burying Kennard right now because a second year can absolutely change a career. A strong camp, more burst, better control against the run, more special teams value, and the conversation can flip. But nobody should pretend this is comfortable. The Chargers are creating real competition, and real competition hurts. If Kennard wants to stay, he has to show up early, show up often, and make the staff feel like cutting him would be a mistake. On this roster, promise alone does not buy you a chair. Take a breath and look at the other side of the ball, because this might be the story that changes the Chargers' actual ceiling the most. Everybody loves talking about the new coordinator, the offensive line additions, the need to give Herbert more help, and all of that is true. But sometimes the most violent jump does not come from outside the building. Sometimes it was already on the roster, just injured, trapped by context, and waiting for the right structure to become a national problem. Omarion Hampton fits that exact space. Garrett Podell of CBS Sports listed Hampton among the 5 players most likely to have a major breakout in 2026, and I completely understand the logic. He was the number 22 pick in the 2025 draft, arrived as one of the strongest running backs in that class, looked like a perfect marriage with Jim Harbaugh, and even in a rookie year interrupted by injury, he left signs. 9 games, 545 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. That is not a full season to crown anybody, but it is enough of a sample to light up the board. And the detail people outside the building ignore is the environment he produced in. The offensive line spent a big chunk of the year without Rashawn Slater, who was out with a torn patellar tendon, and without Joe Alt, who was dealing with an ankle issue. 2 elite tackles, 2 pillars, 2 players who changed the physics of the run game. Now picture Hampton heading into 2026 with both of them back, Tyler Biadasz helping in the middle, and Mike McDaniel designing an offense that knows how to create lanes, angles, hesitation, and space. That is why I am so aggressive when I defend him. McDaniel does not need to turn Hampton into Raheem Mostert or Devon Achane. He needs to take what Hampton already does well: burst, contact balance, decision-making, power after first contact, and place it inside a structure that does not tell the defense what is coming before the snap. Because when Herbert threatens deep, McConkey moves coverages, the tight ends hold linebackers, and the run game starts landing on schedule, the Chargers stop being an offense that asks for permission. They become an offense that forces bad choices. I want the fan base to take a stand in the comments. Does Hampton clear 1,000 yards in 2026? Yes or no? To me, if the health holds and the line delivers even close to what this group promises, that projection is not crazy at all. The math starts getting obvious. The Chargers do not just need more pretty throws. They need a running back who makes defenses tired of getting hit in the second half. Hampton can be that guy. And for Hampton to become that kind of weapon, there is a less glamorous battle happening in front of him. It does not have the shine of a touchdown. It does not turn into a pretty highlight on Twitter. But it decides seasons. The offensive line. And the Chargers are handling this competition with a coldness I like. No handing out jobs based on resume. No pretending the answer is already set in May. In the first days of OTAs, Los Angeles already shuffled the rotation and gave Kayode Awosika first-team reps at left guard, while Trevor Penning did not practice. Eric Smith of Chargers.com reported that Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt were at their tackle spots in front of Herbert, with an initial interior of Awosika at left guard, Tyler Biadasz at center, and Cole Strange at right guard. Biadasz and Strange stayed locked into their spots throughout practice, while second-round pick Jake Slaughter rotated in at left guard. To me, that sends a very clear message. Nobody is being crowned by noise. The natural expectation was that Slaughter would fight hard for that job, but he is changing positions because he did not play snaps at left guard in college. That takes time, body work, reps, contact, and adjusting to NFL speed. Penning has experience at tackle and guard, but the recent tape does not sell total comfort. According to Pro Football Focus, he allowed 26 pressures and 5 sacks across 346 pass-blocking snaps last season. Awosika, coming from Detroit, started 4 games and allowed 10 pressures on 168 pass-blocking snaps. So no, there is no perfect name here. There is competition. And you know why that still excites me, even with the risk? Because in 2025, the Chargers did not really have this kind of flexibility. Now it has Biadasz, Slaughter, and Strange with center experience. Penning can cover more than one job. Awosika is trying to steal space. Draft picks are raising the fight. Travis Burke is on the radar as a developmental tackle. The staff can build, break apart, test, react to injury, adjust by opponent. That is a grown-up roster. Of course, the big question remains, who is going to line up next to Slater when the season starts? If it is Slaughter, the ceiling can rise. If it is Awosika or Penning, the team has to believe experience matters more than projection. But the OTA message is strong. That job belongs to nobody yet, And if the Chargers want to protect Herbert, open lanes for Hampton, and let McDaniel call games without fear, this internal war at left guard has to produce a real answer, not just a comfortable bet. That is the feeling around Los Angeles right now. Nothing is sitting still. O'Leary could make the defense more aggressive. Mesidor might find a fast lane to production. Kennard is being pushed to prove he belongs. Hampton looks like an explosion waiting on health and structure. And the offensive line is turned into a real competition, not off-season theater. That is the kind of environment that separates a comfortable roster from a dangerous one. If you believe the Chargers are building something more physical, deeper, and bolder for 2026, subscribe, turn on notifications, and come back for the next video, because this battle is only getting started.